Well, it first began, as a young 18-year-old kid, uh, having a child, unplanned way too early. Then one day out of the blue, you get served, and you're not expecting it because you're just going through day to day trying to live your life and be a kid. And then next thing you know, you're in court, and then you get hit with a that says you got to pay X amount of dollars every month. And once you get that, you spend the next few months figuring it out, making sure you can cover yourself, the child, and you're taking care of business. And so my journey started when I was 18, fresh out of high school. Uh, and I tried to go to college and do all that stuff at the same time.
I was working on my caseload and noticed that Mr. O'Neill needed to make a payment on his case. When I looked at it, there was a big arrears balance, so I called him to see if he could make a payment. When I contacted him, I asked him if he needed job referrals or if he could make a payment that day, and he said he could.
It was pretty much a child support caseworker that really helped me out. I was in the arrears by a lot of money, and I never saw a way out. It was always just paying this money every month, and I always factored in that I'd be paying this probably for the rest of my life.
Arrears are payments that are due to the state of California or the other parent. We try to get payments on arrears as soon as possible.
I laid out a 5-year plan, and I divided up my total amount by those 5 years, and I broke it down to years, then I broke it down to months. And with the help of the case support worker, she said it's doable.
Mr. O'Neill had a plan. He really wanted to pay off his case within 5 years. So my goal was for him to reach that plan. And our plan of attack was try to make a payment every month and something that he could afford every month if it was reasonable. Some months he could do it, some months he couldn't do it. But I was willing to work with him because on every month he'd made a payment.
I finally got with the worker who understood what I was going through, and she laid out a game plan for me to pay this stuff off in a reasonable amount of time. It was hard. It was difficult. I wasn't making that kind of money in the beginning, but as I stuck with it, and made my payments what I could every single month, she showed me how to erase the arrears and then address the principal, and that way I could get this thing down.
And then sometimes he would call me up out of the blue just to make an extra payment, which was really great. And we were really excited to see him achieve his goal of finally paying off the case.
Not only was Kandy a humongous support, my wife was a huge support also. We sat down, we talked about this. It wasn't just me drawing up a plan, it was us drawing up a plan. And, not only do I have a child, she has a stepdaughter. And so when it comes down to, let's put this 5-year plan together. How can we benefit our family as well as taking care of this child, making sure that financially I met my obligations and did everything I could for her, as well as me doing everything I can for you. And so with me going forward, I always want to thank Kandy for her help, but it always comes from my wife also. And I want to make sure that, I do thank her just as much as I thank Kandy, because without my wife, I probably would have not listened to Kandy or in the same thing. Without Kandy, I wouldn't be pushing so hard to make sure I was making those payments, because it was for my family, my child, her, and I want to make sure that, everybody's happy. Yeah, with Kandy giving me that extra special attention, it's a benefit, because if you just mail somebody a statement and they're like, oh, I don't have it, you put that statement to the side and you could easily forget about it. And you could do that month to month 2, month 3. Next thing you know, you're behind 6 months, maybe a year, and only thing you had was a letter. And it's easy to put that off to the side and move on to the next thing. But when you have somebody who's invested in helping you out and stressing the benefits of getting off child support, stressing the benefits of getting your license back, stressing, hey, travel, you might want to get your passport back. And these are all things that have been taken that they could take from you if you're behind or in the rears in your payment. So having Kandy go that extra mile, that extra 2 miles, just to reiterate, hey, we got a plan, I'm going to call you. And with her following and making her, she did her part. It makes you want to do my part.